I actually have a funny title for what I'm going to talk about, and that's becoming a lifelong apprentice of books. And yeah, so when I saw the advert for this event, and I said I have to speak at this event because I was at the maiden edition, and I was thinking of the title. This came to mind. Anyway, the organizers rejected, and I said it has to come back. Why? I'm here to pass a message. And maybe my talk is going to be a little different. Over the years, I've learned to be less technical because when you look at this crowd, a lot of people in this hall don't know why they are here. If you're in that category, please let me see your hand. So everybody knows. That's nice. Okay, good. So, okay, great. So, a little bit about myself. I've been an apprentice since 2004. Like that young lady said, I started learning HTML then, and I've been an apprentice of Box since then. And I did not learn how to code because I was passionate. It was because of hunger in school. So when you're a student, anytime you're hungry, open your laptop. So I've been a community mentor since 2014. I've been a lecturer. I started writing PHP, and I also write TypeScript and Node.js, React. I do a lot of things in AWS Cloud, AI, Web3. When I'm not coding, what do? Spend time with family, and I play tennis. So why did I become a PHP developer? It was because of Box. How many people do WordPress here? WordPress. Okay, nice. So for those of you that don't know what WordPress is a content management system. I don't know whether it has evolved to something else. So around 2005, we are building the university website, and there is this command saying it's working on my local, but it's not working on production. So on this fateful day, everything was working on my local, and we decided to shift. Then it was called Joomla. We still have Joomla now. So we designed the website in Joomla, and we had a shared hosting that we wanted to move it to. So everything was working on my local. So how do I migrate my database to the shared host? How do I push all my files to the host and make it work on the website, make it visible? So we started with frustration. I had sleepless nights. Like I stayed for long trying to fix one error or other, and I couldn't customize the templates as much as I wanted to. And then I started asking questions. What is behind this Joomla template? And the answer was HTML, CSS, and PHP. So I already knew HTML. I could play with HTML, CSS. So I now said, I need to know this thing behind the template so that I can customize templates well. And that's when I started learning how to write PHP. Started learning PHP. So today I'm talking about bugs. But first we need to understand why bugs arise. One thing could be unclear requirements. You are asked to do something. You are asked to perform a task, but there's no clear description of what should be the results. and you end up creating an unexpected result. You also have incorrect requirements or complex design. As a junior developer, you're about to create as many bugs as possible. Not because you like it or because you don't know how to do it. And today we are talking about mastering the craft. It's not that when you become a senior engineer, you are going to stop seeing bugs. Bugs will still come, but you are going to minimize. Sometimes it's complicated logic, or you are in a hurry to finish up. So it's much better to take your time and finish what you need to do. Or you don't have that much knowledge about the product or the feature you're building. Sometimes the tester, you write a code and ship it to the tester, and the tester doesn't know. The tester doesn't know how to test that feature. It brings bugs that you can find in the production. So what's the difference? The difference between the junior, by the way, this talk is not just about the software engineers, about everybody in tech. Simply, what bugs are just like mistakes. The difference is just between the junior, the senior, and the expert is what you can see in this arrow. So you can see that when you are given a simple problem, when a junior is given a simple problem, it comes up with a complex solution. When a senior is given a simple problem, it comes up with what? A simple solution. You can look at the arrows. If an expert is given a complex problem, comes up with a simple solution. The goal of what building your career is moving from being a junior to a senior and becoming an expert. If a junior is given a complex problem, it comes up with what? Complex. Everything about the junior is complex. When you become senior, you can transform complex problems to what? Simple solution. You can transform simple solutions to simple problems to simple. When you become an expert, everything becomes what? Simple. So, what generates bug is what? You have been given a simple problem and you end up creating what? A complex solution. In the process, you now create a lot more problems. Why are we talking about bugs today? Bugs will be very, very expensive. They will be very expensive. When you are gathering requirements, the first thing is very important, even for those of you that have done technical interview, you understand that you need to understand the problem that you are trying to solve first before you can think of a solution. So at the point that you are gathering the requirements, if they ask you, I want you to create this feature, you need to ask as many questions as possible to understand. At that point, the cost of a bug is $100. When you have finished the task, and then you pass the task to the quality assurance engineer to test, if a bug is discovered at that point, it means it's what? It's going to cost like $1,500. But if it's already in production, so let's bring it back to if you're a student and you don't understand something, you are about to write a test. You don't understand a particular topic. You ask your friend, how much will it cost you? It will cost you an equivalent of what? $100. But if you fail your test, it's equivalent to having it pass through the QA test. If you fail your exam, what happens? You have to rewrite the course in the next semester, right? So bugs could be expensive. So why do I have a job? Why do I have a full-time job? Why do we have engineers employed as both? When I started my career, we used to have, especially when we had desktop software, what do you have? You build your desktop application, ship it, and then you go and build another thing. But now we have full-time software engineers. The reason why I still have my job is what? Bugs. And that's why I'm talking about the reason why you will have a career is because you'll be hired to fix bugs, to create bugs, to find bugs, and to do anything possible with bugs. Imagine you are hired even when you are doing interview, they ask you, this code is written, so can you find what is wrong with the code? Why should I find what is wrong with the code? You wrote it. You're asking me that in interview. He's giving you an idea that, look, you are hired to come and find bugs. And if you see the graph, it shows you at what point do you catch these bugs. So when you are conceiving the idea, your job, the reason you are having a planning session is to identify the possible issues, the possible bottlenecks, and take care of those bottlenecks. When you are designing, you are also designing the system to take care of those things. When you are during development, you are also writing code to make sure that these bugs do not get anywhere. You catch the bugs on time, and that's why you have exceptions that you catch. But when the bug gets to reduce, it grows so big that it is going to cost a lot of money. So I am now a professional bug catcher. Everyone here that has been in software development for more than 3 years is a professional bug catcher. The only reason why they hired you is to open your system like that. You can see the bugs that are moving around. You carry this magic wand and keep killing the bugs. If you cannot catch the bug and it gets to production, what happens to you? You lose your job. So how do we catch bugs? This is just an overview of the difference between a junior engineer and a senior engineer. First thing is we talk about the approach. There's nothing wrong with this. When they give you, they say there is an issue, the first thing you look at it in a direct bug, and then you flow it in a linear manner. But a senior software engineer will try to find the root cause or have to look at a holistic approach to it. You are actually looking at your task. And sometimes the way bugs are, you can spend hours only to discover that there was a missing semicolon or a space, or you name a variable in capital, which is common in PHP. You collected integer and then you are trying to get a string, or you got an object, you are trying to pass something else. So what's my message? If you want to build your career, if you want to grow your career, do what? Embrace the errors and bugs. Learn to write good code. Learning to write good code requires writing a lot of bad code. So you write a lot of bad code so that you can understand how to write what? Very good. And there's no way you're going to write code without looking out for errors. But when you embrace errors, I remember when I think some of you know Equinox, right? Equino came to me and said, Mr. Dick, is there any way we can write code without box? Is there any way we can eliminate this box? And I told him, look, box is the reason why I have a job. So if you want to grow your career, what do you do? Embrace bugs and errors. So why do you have to be an apprentice of bugs? And why do you even have to be a lifelong apprentice? What it means to be a lifelong apprentice means that throughout your lifetime, what you'll be doing is to do what? To catch bugs, create bugs, find bugs, and fix bugs. So why? Why do you have to become an apprentice of bugs? Because it is the missing piece in working, learning, training, and practice. You can see from that image, it shows you that once you have an apprenticeship in the middle. Today we are talking about mastering the craft. The only group of people that do apprenticeship is what? A craftsman, right? So if you have to master the craft, you have to do what? You have to become an apprentice. Yes, you eventually become an apprentice of a lot of things, but you have to be, first of all, an apprentice of bugs if you are going to succeed in software engineering. So what is an apprenticeship? It's a mix of work and study. So it's not like you are going to be an apprentice and then you start working. No. While you are working, you need to keep learning how to find these bugs faster, how to solve them, how to fix them. You get paid while you grow your skills. So the job you are doing right now, they are paying you. The reason that you're going to keep being relevant is because you are growing your skill. You are finding better ways to solve your problems. And I tell you what, it's a terrible experience when you actually they release your feature and the feature has so many bugs in production. So you are guided by professionals. You always have some people that are more senior than you. And you can see from that image that you need to climb that ladder to get to the top. But for you to do that, you have to be what? An apprentice. Bug is a feature. If you look at that image carefully, bug is the feature turned backwards. Your rule, your job is to make sure that feature is always facing what? So if I turn backwards now, what will I become? A bug. So bugs are side effects of writing code. Learn to embrace the bugs if you want a career software development. So in climbing the ladder, what do you need to do? It's more, you need to master how to make things better. You need to write a lot of code. You need to embrace bugs. Google is your friend. Learn from others' mistakes and your own mistakes. Never stop learning. New languages, new frameworks, new libraries. Build cool stuff. Don't forget to share your knowledge. Write articles. And what's number 8? Repeat steps 1, 1, 7. That's all you have. So there are other tips and tricks for effective debugging. Understanding the bug, divide and conquer. Sometimes when I used to deal with CSS, if I'm trying to reduce a font, the font size, and it doesn't look like it's reducing, what do? I increase the number to like 70 so that it will be very big. And I'll say, okay. So that's a rule. And sometimes you want to reduce the space or you want to increase the space. It doesn't look like it's increasing. Increase the number already exponential. And you see it. Okay? And sometimes I like to play with colors. So I'll put funny colors. I'll put red. I like red or green. So it will bold. You can see it. Then I'll say, okay, you are the copy. Then you can now deal with it. So you have, I think we'll soon talk about a lot of tools. Use debugging tools. Very importantly, it's one thing I used to shy away when I started my career. Writing unit tests, it saves you a whole lot of problems. And there's also end-to-end tests. Also, participate in code reviews is important. Is in this part. Code reviews are an important part of getting to see what the issue is. When you write a code, you ask someone else to have a look at it. Even my very senior engineers, they always ask me to look at the code. Sometimes in research, nobody's perfect. And that's the way you don't have to write. Every failure is a step toward success. And you can see the ladder you have to fail. Sometimes you have to fail times. Work is like a failure. And most times when you write code, it doesn't work immediately. I want to tell you one story. What you do after you fail is the most important thing. Personal experience. I was pretty young when I started primary school, but not so young because I didn't know this. I went to one of those funny schools that used the slates and chalk to write. But I was doing well. Primary 1, primary 3, I was always between first, second, third. In primary 4, I don't know what happened. I took fourth position. My father told me to repeat the class. I took fourth. I did not take any other position. He said, how can I take the fourth position? As we are seated, I still remember how I walked into the class. And my classmates were in what? Primary 5. It was failure. What did I do after that? I did not take any position aside from first between my primary 4 and my GS3. That was the anger I had in my mind. When you fail, what you do after that failure is the most important. So every step, every failure is a step of what? Success. Every bug that you find is going to be a revelation, something created. And we even know that if you read, there's even a saying that electricity was discovered as what? A mistake. So, thank you everyone. To